Josh Freiberger, Hague Angus Ranch. I'm fifth generation along with my brother. Uh, my dad took over in 85-ish. Before that was my grandfather and his wife, Martha Peterson, everything south of Antioch to the Crescent Lake Refuge to the Nebraska Boys Ranch. What used to be the Nebraska Boys Ranch would have been just about all my great grandpa and uncles and that whole group of people. So here we are, 5 generations later, and I formed Hague Angus Ranch when we separated the ranch between me and my brother, and he is commercial cattle only, and I'm a commercial cattleman too. I just happen to have registration numbers on a lot of my cows. Met my wife Josie in North Platte, and Josie and we had now acquired 4 children. The long hours as a rancher get old, but having the next generation to continue this on is what it's all about. So, every time I opened a catalog, whether it was a Major Seaman stud or the guys that we were buying bulls from, it just got to be where it was the same old. We started raising our own bulls. Not saying the people that we weren't buying them from didn't have good bulls to offer. We just decided, let's save some money. We feel that we can raise, we've been doing this for 150 years. We feel that we kind of have a knack for knowing what good cattle are, so let's raise a few of our own commercial bulls. Here we are, 10 years later, and I won't say that it's been a home run, but well, it's been pretty good. We've introduced some new sires. We're going to continue to import some sires, but I think having that outcross gene pool has given me, because when I cross those gene pools, offers them a bit of an outcross and something new, and while we do that, like I said, the type of animal that I'm trying to achieve never changes. So even though I'm introducing those new gene pools, we're constantly improving feed, longevity. I call them the hidden values of the Angus breed: longevity, feed, structure, rooming capacity, for forage efficiency. All those things are far more important to me than weaning off a 700-pound calf. So my one goal in this industry is to just make the cow-calf commercial man more money, and that's really how everything I offer, from nutrition to genetics to cover crop things I deal with, or Grazemaster stuff with the Grazemaster group. Everything I do is just surely putting more money back in the cow-calf commercial man's pocket. And like I said, I don't care about pretty, I care about profit. I've put together some pretty cool matings this year. We've introduced a massive Kaharau from New Zealand. He's a 1968 model bull. The massive Kaharus are exceptionally, those cattle are built for grass. And I'm a big fan of old school, because you go back, I'm a firm believer that the right bulls from the 60s, 70s, and 80s were the best Angus bulls to ever walk this planet, because feed manipulation had not come into the equation. Another one would be Papa Forte. We brought Papa Forte back in our herd. Dale Davis. Some newer sires that we've brought in because of what I saw, like Reich Ripper. He's another sire group that those bulls are very impressive. The Ripper calves. Durgan Blueprint. We've got I think there's one XXP calf in the cell this year, so we still use a lot of those good, American blooded gene pools. We're just trying to stay the old school ones. Another newer one that we've implemented the last couple of years is OCC Unlimited. There's a lot to be said about cattle that flat had to thrive with less inputs to that era of time. People are going to really start figuring out that it's not about, it's not about the paycheck at the end. It's about how much money you spent to get to that point. and people really got to start looking at input costs and how we can lower our cost per head per day, and you know, get these cattle to breed back and function. So Rio Max, you know, they've got almost a completely new technology that, quite frankly, feed companies and nutritionists don't like, because they have figured out a way to utilize microbial protein. I am completely blown away at how an animal can eat bulrushes, saltgrass, and 4% prairie hay only in my feeding program, and stay in the 6 body condition score and break it down. And you know, I don't pour cows, I don't do nothing. I mean, when you get that rumen ticking through microbial protein and microbial production, the rest is history. One thing about Rio is that they don't cut any goodie out of it. It's the best of the best, with the enzymes, everything. Cost per head per day and feed savings. It's literally saved me 80 cents a day, you know, on a 600 head cow operation or a 500 cow operation. You know, do the math. It's a pretty good chunk of coin. December 9th, down at Ogallala Livestock Auction in Ogallala, Nebraska. Probably 56 to 58 bulls, and then for the first time ever, we will be putting females on our bull sale. So pretty excited to take that step in our program. Sale starts at 12:30. About 80% of my bulls every year have been repeat customers, so they don't have to worry about them falling apart. They tell them to go figure it out themselves, because I've already told them to go figure it out. If you'd like a catalog, please reach out. And the bulls are developed on a high roughage ration. We target about 2.5 pounds a day for about 100 days, just in the heart of winter through about the 1st of May. And then they'll go to grass end of May, roughly. They're out hoofing it 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 acre pastures all summer long. And the exercise and the, you know, figuring that stuff out is what makes these bulls. You know, you asked me earlier what sets me apart from the competition. I'd say longevity is a big one there with these bulls, because they, you know, I've had reports of some of my bulls I sold back in 2013, 14 that are still working, you know, at 8, 9, 10 years old. A good bull that can cover 40 cows a year for 8 years, you know, and he only costs you, I sell, you know, $4,000 or $5,000. That's a pretty low cost per calf ratio. And that's my goal, like I said, with the bulls that I develop is, you know, if they're not making you a lot more money on a per head basis, then I need to do something else for a living. And I've never focused on one trait, or even 3 or 4. Longevity, fertility, feet, all those things, those hidden values. So these calves hit the ground, they're out to grass. We don't see them again until, I mean, I see them again, I check them, obviously, but you know, we won't mess with them or do nothing with them until end of September, 1st part of October. You know, we really do expect these girls to work 365 days a year. There's pretty hands off. I mean, we check them, we take care of them, we be stewards of what God has blessed us to do here as ranchers, but at the end of the day, they have to work for me, not the other way around.